Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin continues to move in this price range here, and we are still watching for a potential breakout. Either way, both ways, that's quite cool. Both directions could be bullish overall. So the advantage of using Elliott Wave is that it gives you context. It gives you context. If you use this without Elliott Wave, you might say, okay, a break below the lower boundary line here of that range might be bearish. Well, short term maybe, but we know that looking at the context, we actually have a support zone put onto the chart here and defined it, which is between 47K and 50K. So if the price dips into this region, then there's a good chance of finding support there, and the overall structure will not be affected at all by the price, dipping into this region. And it's we have support at $50,000, 48,320 and 47,000. Interestingly, we also have previous swing lows in these areas, so structural support where the 38.2 retracement level is, which is typically an ideal target for such a fourth wave. We're currently in a fourth wave, if you missed previous updates. So that would be an ideal target. So I would prefer the price still to get there. Yeah. Then we have the 50% Fibonacci level, which is at 47K, also a previous swing low in that area. Main takeaway, I think, is important to realize that only really if we break below 47K, this scenario I'm showing you, which allows for further upside as soon as wave 4 is complete, is only below 47K I would have to revise it. Well, I don't, we already have a backup plan. That's the other advantage of Elliott Wave. So we know that below 47K, we have to assume that this B wave formed the top as per previous updates. But until then, I'm watching for one more high in either the B wave or the third wave in white. The white count is the preferred scenario, which means that after one more high, which could trigger the $54,300 level, maybe a little higher, another fourth wave should occur, and then another fifth wave that can take us maybe even into the 60K region. That will be exciting. So it's good to see Bitcoin is consolidating above 50K, and we might only touch 50. I mean, I can only offer the support levels and highlight against which levels the trend is still up, because technical support, structural support can break, but the Fibonacci levels can still offer support, because as long as the market mood hasn't changed, we just have to give it a space. Okay, again, these Fib levels are the mathematical representation of market mood. So they tell us when the market changes its sentiment, and that will be below 47K. A sustained break below 47K will mean that we're likely revisiting the yellow support zone down there. But yeah, that remains to be confirmed. It's not what I'm primarily watching for. So let's zoom in a little bit. But as I said in the last video, there isn't much I can really offer here in terms of additional clarity. I have this roadmap laid out. The yellow count is sort of an alternative. It suggests that, we could have bottomed here already, but that requires a break above the green line. So any sustained break out of the range to the upside would already trigger wave 5. I think it's already a healthy wave 4. I would still prefer it to go a little lower, possibly to 48,320 or the area between 50K and 48.3K, and a sustained break below this green line, below the lower boundary line, will likely mean that we are heading here to the downside. I mean, in terms of, I'm already offering a micro count here. I mean, anything that is even smaller degree is really not reliable at all. If I had to give you something, if someone was gonna twist my arm here, well, to be honest, I would argue that one of the reasonable interpretations is that this C wave to the downside of wave 4 is an ending diagonal, which means that this is likely an A wave, this is likely a B wave, and we might see that C wave, but that is really something potential to observe. That means the C wave could take us to the 100% extension of A, and that might take us to around about 50,100. Maybe longer. I mean, it's only really the first target to watch, so that's that. But the third wave itself could also be a little longer, because if we then look at the length of the wave 1, compare that to the length of the third wave, that should minimally get down to 49.7. That already tells you that the C wave is likely extending a bit. So yeah, it's that's why this is sort of the micro counting doesn't really offer much help. It doesn't really offer predictive powers, but the support levels are there, breakout points are there, and hopefully that helps. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.